Many years ago, the twin brothers engaged in a battle. Good and evil. They had been strong since they were children, even though they didn't even want to be. People became afraid of them. They waited until everyone went to bed and set fire to their house. The parents died in the fire, but the boy survived. Samaritan became a protector of the people and a fighter for justice, but Nemesis was the opposite. He forged a hammer to destroy Samaritan. He lured his brother into the power plant, and they began to fight. They both died in an explosion, but someone still believes that Samaritan faked his death. One little boy's mother goes off to work, and he goes to take out the garbage. The boy draws graffiti on the trash can. He lives the life of a normal teenager while a certain Joe works as a garbage man. The man gets off the bus stop and walks through town, and the boy asks him about his find. Joe picked up a broken radio for some reason. The boy asks why he did it, to which the man asks why he needed a broken clock. A friend of Sam's calls him for a part-time job. They come to an abandoned building, climb inside, and earn some money by ripping out various materials. They turn in their loot to the man and notice black cars circling around them. One of the bandits offers to make money and asks to distract the salesman during one business transaction. Sam's family has constant money problems, so he agrees. He pretends to get hit by a car while the hoodlums pick up the boxes of money, but when they bring them back to the base, they find that there is no money inside, but chips. Everyone starts blaming Sam, but he gives them the go-ahead. The ringleader of the bandits comes down to him and expresses his respect. The bandit says he likes Nemesis, unlike Samaritan, but still gives him money for the job he's done and pays him on top for more work to come, thus recruiting the boy into his gang. Sam goes to his house and finds the landlord and his mother talking. They are completely short on rent, and the boy gives his mother the money. She takes it without a second thought and then asks where he got it, but Sam says nothing, upsetting his mother. One day Sam is out for a walk and is seen by the gang men and chases after the boy. Joe Smith sees this and decides to help. He scatters the scoundrels with 2 waves of his hands and chases the hoodlums away. Sam quickly guesses it's Samaritan. He runs home and writes down his theory. The bandits, meanwhile, attack the building and rob the money. In the drawers they find Nemesis equipment, including his mighty hammer. Thus, a new Nemesis is born that night. Sam visits a man who has been searching for Samaritan for a very long time, writing books about him and making videos on the internet that he is alive and somewhere among us. The guy tries his best to explain that he found him, but the man refuses to listen to Sam until he buys a book from him. The man tells the story of that tragic night with the hammer and how Nemesis died from his own hatred and Samaritan survived but was burned. It was his burnt back that Sam saw in the window. The man refuses to believe his theory and chases Sam away. Then the guy sneaks into Joe Smith's apartment while he's out at work and looks through his things. Newspaper clippings about Samaritan, some homemade devices. There's no doubt it's Samaritan, but here's how to explain it to others. The guy steals some of Samaritan's stuff. Reza and another bandit track down Joe Smith. Joe comes home and sees that someone has stolen his scrapbook. Seconds later, he is already at Sam's house asking for the album back. On the street, the boy tries every way he can to get the truth out of him about being a Samaritan, but the man doesn't confess until Reza and his buddy hit the man right in the road. He recovers in less than a minute. Steam rushes out of him and he goes home to take a shower, while Sam rejoices that he wasn't wrong about him after all. The man eats ice cream to cool himself off, and the boy tries to get a shred of information out of him about anything, but he only tells him that he needs to cool off after being so badly injured, which sort of explains Nemesis' death. The boy tells him that Samaritan saved his father, to which he jokes, but when the boy says his father is dead, the smile comes off Samaritan's face. The bandits meanwhile set off explosions in the city, everything around them collapses, and he puts on a mask and gives a speech to the spirits of Nemesis. The people are quick to support him, and after he smashes the kiosk, everyone starts chanting his name. A revolution is coming and surely someone will have to stop it. Joe Smith wakes up from a nightmare in which he sees his fight with his brother, and at the same time the news reports on the Nemesis uprising. Joe Smith goes to work and notices Sam following him and asks him to stop following him, but since it is no use, he takes him with him on the bus. Sam asks the man about his life. He tells him that he is very depressed and doesn't leave the house, and that unnecessary contact with people depresses him. The boy is shocked that the man does not respond to the boar in the street. The Samaritan surrenders his belongings and somehow gets $50. The boy continues to question him, and they walk until the evening. At the end of the walk, the boy asks if he feels afraid. The man says that he too is afraid, as is Sam, but that is natural. He takes the watch from Sam and says he will fix it. Joe Smith sees about Nemesis on TV and breaks the plate in his hands. They cross paths on the street and the guy asks Samaritan to start tutoring him. The man agrees for some reason. Sam asks Joe about Nemesis and he remembers his brother begging to kill him. He tells the man's theory of the Samaritan fanatic, but Joe refutes it, saying it's nonsense and they don't know anything. The boy runs home, but on the way he meets the bandits' car and Cyrus. He chats with a gang girl and she says that if the boy leaves them, she will find him. Sam is sent to their aid again and is asked to whistle when the cops go by, but the boy can't whistle. This angers Cyrus. Later, the boy notices the bandits taunting the men taken hostage, nearly killing them. The man runs away, but Cyrus pulls out a gun and shoots him in the back. Sam notices Reza and his cronies beating up his friend Jace. He intervenes, for which he gets hit very hard. They put him in a shopping cart from the supermarket and drive him down the road while the city lights up with flashes of explosions. The boy is brought right to the house and left in the yard. Samaritan sees this and takes the boy to the hospital. His mother is shocked and surprised that a hero like Joe did not save the boy, despite all his strength. The bandits, meanwhile, realize that the man is alive and it seems very strange to them. They begin to pursue Joe Smith, until he nevertheless stops and answers them properly. He scatters the scoundrels, completely ignoring the gun's bullets. When he knocks them all out, one man stabs him in the back with a knife, but he turns around and sends him crashing through a wall. A teenager throws a grenade to check on the old man and he takes the girl, flips the car around and saves the child from being blown up. The news talks about Samaritan, and the boy runs to his house and tells him about Cyrus' plans for the power plant, but the man refuses to help people. The boy calls him a coward and runs away. The next day, he bursts into the man's room looking for his broken watch while a bunch of black cars gather outside Joe Smith's house. These are Cyrus' men, so the boy has to hide. He runs home and asks his mother to leave the house. Samaritan's entire apartment is shot by Cyrus' men, and later they look out the window and see the boy and his mother. Cyrus orders them to catch the boy, but what does he want? Sam is taken by the bandits and the mother manages to get hit. Cyrus spells out that they will take the boy so that Samaritan will face Nemesis after all. Joe Smith himself was about to leave, but he remembered that he hadn't given the boy his watch and arrived at Sam's house, but found only his crying mother. He told him all about it and Samaritan went to help his little fan. The man took a huge truck and made his way onto the factory grounds, through a barricade of bandits, through bullets, and even through the wall of the building itself. Everyone shoots at him, but he sends the criminals out with just a couple of blows. Soon all the bandits line up around him and point their guns at him. Samaritan asks to let everyone go, but Cyrus wants the guy to see his idol fall, but it turns out that Joe Smith wasn't Samaritan all along. He was the surviving Nemesis who killed Samaritan. Sil was killed in the fight, and this makes Cyrus very upset. The bandit escapes with the boy, but Nemesis' hammer keeps breaking through any fences and soon Joe Smith will get the scoundrel. Cyrus calls his men and asks them to plunge the city into darkness and puts on the mask of Nemesis. The power goes out all over the city, cars go up in flames everywhere, and Joe Smith is still making his way through the crowds of idiots who think they can keep up with the likes of him. Sam's mother searches all over the city for the boy, but through all the fires, riots, and violence, it's so hard to see anything. Nemesis goes to Sam, but it turns out to be a trap and Cyrus snatches his hammer. The man is steaming all over, but continues to stand on his feet until he nearly falls into the fire. Cyrus approaches him as Nemesis himself once approached the Samaritan, but he is saved by Sam, who distracts the villain. Nemesis takes advantage of this, pins him against a pillar and is about to drop him into the fiery abyss. The man pleads with him as best he can, but Nemesis stands his ground. He remembers how he once threw his brother into the fire, and with him their two masks. Joe starts to die of overheating right on the floor, but Sam breaks the water faucet and the man is pelted with a jet of water. He almost dies, but gets up at the last second, grabs the boy in his arms, and runs out of the building, or rather out, through the wall. The boy goes into shock and asks the man if he really is Nemesis. The man says that there is no good or bad, it's all about the heart, everyone does things differently, and disappears. Sam goes downstairs to the building and is questioned by reporters. He tells them that Samaritan is alive, thereby bringing hope not only to the people but also to Joe Smith's own heart. Now there will be at least something bright in the city, and the Cyrus gang, like him and himself, is gone.